Hello Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today to share with you a project created with this. This is the November cherry box, so you have a couple more days till subscribe, and this is the large photo fall layout that I created using this collection. So there is a amazing stamp set, and I'm using the wreath from this, I believe it's called Autumn Wreath. It from Sizzix is the name of the set. So I'm using some distress oxides. I'm layering the oxides and I am stamping that directly onto watercolor paper. So you can see I had a sort of a rusty brown color in there, thinking that the orange would go well with it, but I don't really like it. So I'm going in again with just the blues, and I'm going to pick up some of the color with a watercolor pen and smush around some of that color there. So this die does not come with a this stamp does not come with a coordinating metal die, but it is very easily fussy cuttable. So you can see I smushed some ink, or there, I'm smushing some ink, and I'm using my watercolor or water pen to just pick up some of that color and put a little bit more color, but it actually doesn't need that because I'm working on watercolor paper. It's actually picking up the color off of the paper itself and spreading that around. I am picking up some, but you can see I really don't pick up a whole lot. And that just, it gives a little bit more depth to that wreath, as well as just fills in some of those outlined leaves instead of, fills in the outlined leaves. So I am just going to use my scissors to fussy cut this. So this is watercolor paper, so it's a little bit thicker and heavier. It's also got a more creamy feel to it. And the important thing to remember about fussy cutting is make sure you move your paper. Open and close your scissors, but don't move your scissors along the paper. Move the paper in under the scissors, if that makes sense, and you will get a much cleaner cut. I like the way that water paper color cuts because it almost gives you that crisp edge, that rounded edge of a metal die. So I'm just going to cut the outside, knowing that I want to use this space for either journaling and or my title. The other amazing thing, these are my new favorite dies. So these are actually called Winter Nature, these metal dies from Sizzix, but they are really truly suitable for all seasons. Definitely fall, definitely winter. And so you could also have, you can see on the right hand side of that screen there, with the box, you get foil adhesive sheets, and those sheets come in 4 colors. If you haven't checked it out already, be sure to check out my unboxing from about a week ago. I will link you in the description box down below to that video. So I have pulled from my stash a bunch of just plain cardstocks. So you can see I have that mustardy yellow, that rusty orange. I have a mariner's blue, as well as just a crafty cardstock. And I'm going to cut out a bunch of the different elements. In fact, I believe I use them all. So the mushrooms are layerable. The acorns also have layers, as well as that tall leaf that you see in the mustard yellow that I've cut there, those little red dots to the top center of the screen are little flowers that go on there. So lots of not interactive, but lots of texture available if you layer these elements. So I'm just cutting ahead of time a bunch of these different elements to integrate into the ton of ephemera that you get in this cherry box. So the kit itself, the box itself, you get, it's the Fancy Pants Memory Lane collection, and I have used that previously for another fall layout. But with this, you're going to get the pattern papers. You are going to get the cards and tags packet, the ephemera packet, the puffy dots, and the enamel dots. So a ton of goodness in this box. There's still time to subscribe. You don't have to subscribe. If there are one-offs available, you can also get those, but I definitely recommend subscribing. So now I'm using the foil sheets. There are, as I said previously, 4 different colors available. I'm going to use the rose gold as well as the gold, and then there's 2 kinds of silvers. So I want to back the photo. Well, I'm not actually backing the photo. The photo is so large that literally I'm only going to use 2 pieces of pattern paper. You can see the full 12 by 12 is the background. And then I'm going to use this sort of wood grain on the right hand side of the photo, and all of the other elements are going to cascade over on that left hand side there. So I've pulled a couple of cards and tags, and they are literally going to cascade down the left hand side of the fall or the picture to mimic the falls that are cascading down the river as we hike up to the big waterfall. I think it's like 86 feet, 76 feet, something along those lines. And you can see the beautiful, stunning fall color that is there. So you can see I shifted the wreath because it felt like I had a round object on top of all of these other cascading objects, and I wanted to integrate that round into and break up the monotony of the flow. I also felt that that pumpkin there also added some round elements to it as well, that added some visual interest instead of all of this repetitiveness that just kind of moves down the page there. So I have got the basic format of how those cards and tags are going to go, and then it's just making a little bit more. A, it needed some color, some of those brighter pops of color, and B, some visual interest as you move down to kind of move your eye down that cascade there. So I had cut some things, but I'd forgotten to, I think I needed an extra mushroom top, and I wanted a little bit more variety than what I had given myself. So I will disappear off screen and die cut some other things. I am going to put a blue strip in here because I felt like I needed to unite the blue that is in the left-hand side, especially in that wreath over onto the right-hand side there. I am going to tell you now as I'm placing it here inside that it covers a lot of it, and I really wanted a little bit more of it to be visual. So I'm going to move that blue strip out from underneath the photo off camera, and I'm going to move that over to the right-hand side of the layout there. So I'm going to now adhere all of those things that I kind of found the format for. And you can see that's why I didn't put too many of the die cut elements in, because I knew I wanted that major format. And I also knew that if I laid everything down, yes, I've tried the cling wrap, and it doesn't work because the cling wrap doesn't quite pick it up. It leaves this funny substance on it. And also, I keep taking the cling wrap down to the kitchen because that's where cling wrap belongs, not in the scrapbook room, right? So you can see I've got that cascade there, but it ends really early. And so I want it better spaced out. And so I'm going to shift things down. I could have put another tag in there, but I like the balance that I've created here. It also allows you to see the top of that photo a little bit better. So you can see I've got that really dark element with that card with the birds in it, and I feel like I need to integrate a little bit more of that dark contrast into the left-hand side, that cascade there. And so I'm going to do that with these die-cut embellishments because you can see that leaf that I just moved down, as well as the mushroom top and the acorn top, that blue leaf that I just put there, marine blue, that it incorporates some of that darker color. I also felt like I needed to incorporate a little bit of that yellow that's in the photo, that's very prominent in the photo, over in that left-hand side there. So this is one of those foil pieces. That's a fern. It's super sticky. It sticks really nicely, but it is also repositionable. do I move that? No, I don't move that. I had thought about moving it. Once those are down, they do kind of tear. It's a little delicate, but you can see it came off the paper nicely and has stuck to the page nicely there. So just a little cascade of mushrooms, and then I'm going to work on the acorns. So that's what I have here. Is that an acorn? Yep. So I was pushing it out of the die. It was stuck in the die. So I do, you can see, put some ink on these as well as distress. So here I'm putting a little bit of texture into the metal, and you can see it, but it's not quite, you lose what you can see as I distressed it. So I'm going in again on the front and putting some hash marks, and you'll see that a lot better in the close-ups. I was trying to show it to you on the video here, but the camera didn't come in and zoom in on that for that sharp focus there. So a little duo of acorns there, and I will go ahead and put a top on that other acorn. I thought I was going to use that blue here. I definitely have it for the mushroom, but I end up using that same brown that is on the right hand side over there. So you can see I'm using my sandpaper to distress them, just to give them a little bit more of that naturey, grungy look that is going on in the entire photo on the right hand side there. So I wanted that to sort of coordinate. And because this collection has such a sort of vintage feel to it, it really is more of a heritage collection. It just helped those brighter, more shiny objects meld into the feel of the rest of the page there. And so yes, I do have the shine from the foil adhesive sheets, but they have an older feel to them. They're not a new shine, they're kind of an old shine. So here I'm using my Silhouette picky uppy stick, that's what I call it, picky uppy stick, to dip those little teeny tiny pieces into a liquid adhesive to get them stuck down, just using the nail of my finger to help hold them down, because they do actually stick to the picky uppy stick, and they stay stuck to the picky uppy stick. So you need something that's going to remove them off of the picky uppy stick. And I apologize for you not seeing what I'm doing at the bottom side of the camera. The problem is that when you're filming reels, you've got to go the opposite direction, and so I keep moving my tripod, which is what houses my iPhone, and I get the alignment for one but not for the other, and it's hard because it's really tall, it's really high up off the desk, and it's hard to verify exactly where everything is when you're filming, especially when you're standing on your tippy toes. So my friends, that is going to be the bulk of the layout there. I am going to in a minute get out some Simple Stories color vibe. They're the wood grain color vibe letters to put hike in that center wreath right here for the title. But I wanted to tell you this is the November cherry box. There is still time to order it and or subscribe. You have to do so by the 25th if you want to get this particular box. It is super awesome. And what I forgot about was that it also comes with these super awesome puffy stickers and the enamel dots that go with the collection too. And I felt like I needed a little something on that right hand side. So truly just 2 puffy stickers, 3 enamel dots, super simple down the side there, but just to give a little bit more visual interest to the right hand side of the page. So if you have any questions about the box or my process video, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.